Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and welcome to 333 Magic 9, your tarot, psychic, and astrology channel. And this is the Druid Master Merlin. And he tells me that 2026 is going to be a fabulous year. So this video has all the power planet transits for each sign. And they are timestamped, so all you have to do is look them up in the description below and you can click right on your sign. And remember, Merlin knows what he's talking about. So get out there and enjoy 2026. Aries, Jupiter starts the year retrograde in Cancer and your fourth house. He turns direct on March 10th, bringing opportunity to your home and family situation. This may be a good time to invest in a new property, or move, or make changes you would like to see in your home, and there should be more cooperation with your family. He enters Leo on June 30th, and your fifth house. This is the house of pleasure, so this can expand opportunities in love and romance as well as creative projects. So get out there and express yourself so you can meet new people at home. He then will oppose Pluto on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your independence and your ego. Cooperation would be called for if you want to be a success. He will go retrograde on December 12th for the rest of the year, allowing you to slow down any expansive plans that you have. And so this is a good time to enjoy the people you love the most in the holidays. Saturn, the orange line here, enters the Saturn, the orange line here, will transit Pisces until February 14th, Valentine's Day, when he will enter the sign of Aries. This starts a new cycle of independence and a search for your individuality, and this is in your first house of expression. He conjuncts Neptune on February 12th, the blue line, so Neptune and Saturn conjunct. And this may be the most important day of the year, bringing the force of reality, Saturn, and illusion, Neptune, together in your first house. So you need to look for change, you need to be creative, you need to express yourself, but do be wary of confusion. You need to bring your ideas and your spirituality down to earth and make them practical in some way. He goes retrograde in your first house on July 26th. And this demands you shift your focus to reviewing how you have made adjustments to your personality and your way of expressing yourself during the past 6 months. You may have to make some changes there. He will then go direct on December 10th, allowing you to make needed personal changes just before the holiday. Uranus starts the year retrograde in Taurus, and that is your second house, and it is the house of money. So you may have to make some financial adjustments. He does turn direct on February 3rd, which can help you change your direction and the way you are approaching money and budgets. And you may have some sudden gains or losses, so do be aware of how you're handling your money. He'll go retrograde, he enters Gemini, very important, and your third house on April 26th. Changing the way you think, the way you analyze information, and therefore the way you communicate new knowledge. so you can assimilate new things so that you can communicate them to others. He will go retrograde September 10th for the rest of the year, allowing you to adjust your thinking as new situations arise with learning and travel and communications. And you should also be aware there may be some changes coming in your environment. Neptune, the blue line, entered Aries and your first house on January 26th, empowering personal creativity and spirituality. He will conjunct Saturn on February 20th. We talked about that earlier. So this does demand a realistic approach to creative visions and fantasies. So don't get carried away with yourself. He will go retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you need to adjust your dreams for the future. He returns to direct motion on December 12th, enhancing your spiritual and creative power. So you will be able to express yourself with enthusiasm and charisma. And finally, Pluto is in Aquarius and your 11th house of group participation all year. He brings a new opportunity for networking with friends and associates, so you may be able to deepen your bonds. He retrogrades on May 6th, suggesting that you may have to be a little bit more selective with the people you associate with and you trust. He will return to direct motion on October 16th, bringing the ability to work with others to a deeper level. Taurus, Jupiter, the greater fortune, begins the year retrograde in Cancer and in your third house. He turns direct on March 10th, bringing opportunity to learn and assimilate new information. This will help you communicate your ideas more effectively. It may bring opportunities to travel or communicate. Now, he will enter the sign of Leo on June 30th, and this is your fourth house of emotional foundations. So this will help improve your home and family life, bringing a new sense of personal security to you. He will oppose Pluto on July 20th, suggesting you need to control your independence and ego, especially if you're dealing with powerful people. Cooperation will be necessary for success, or you may choose to go it alone and start your own business. Now, he does retrograde at the end of the year on December 12th, and that's for the rest of the year, allowing you to slow down so you can enjoy the holidays with the people that you love the most. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, will end his transit of Pisces and enter Aries on February 14th, Valentine's Day. So this will start a new cycle of concentration, especially in any type of spiritual work or work behind the scenes, or where you might feel limited. He will conjunct or be in the same place with Neptune on February 20th. And this actually the whole month may be the most important part of the year, bringing the forces of reality, Saturn, and the forces of imagination and illusion together in your 12th house, and that is the house that Neptune rules. So look for creative activity that can help you overcome your fears. But beware that you may run into some confusion and your imagination may run away with itself, so keep a positive outlook. Now, he goes direct on December 10th for the rest of the year, and this will allow you to make needed spiritual changes just before the holidays. So after he does his retrograde motion on July 26th, he will help you shift your focus to reviewing how you have made adjustments to your spiritual feelings, your inner conflicts, and your personal fears over the past 6 months. Uranus starts the year retrograde in Taurus and your first house, and Uranus is the planet of genius and chaos. Woo! So you may have to make some sudden personal adjustments. He will turn direct on February 3rd, which can help you change your approach to the way you express yourself and your ego. You might get very creative. He will enter Gemini and your second house on April 26th, changing the way you handle money, resources, and investments. And it might be good to invest in new technology at that time. He will go retrograde on September 10th for the rest of the year, allowing you to adjust your thinking about how you're going to earn money and what kind of technology you should be focusing on. Neptune, the blue line, and he is Poseidon, Lord of the Oceans, enters Aries in your 12th house on January 26th, and that will empower your intuition and your spirituality. He will help you very much when he conjuncts Saturn on February 20th. Again, this is really an important time, an important, probably a good month-long energy, and that will last actually for a long, long time. And he's sort of asks you to be really realistic, and particularly about anything that you feel is an inadequacy in your own being. You need to really try to heal any wounds that you might have. Now, he will go retrograde on July 7th, so that suggests you might have to make some changes in what you're hoping for or dreaming about. Now, he returns to direct motion on December the 12th, enhancing your spiritual and creative problems and maybe straightening some of your fears out. And this can also be very good for your creative energy and healing your spirit. Pluto will be in Aquarius in your 10th house of career all year. He can bring powerful new opportunities for career advancement. He does retrograde on May 6th, suggesting you need to be careful, especially when dealing with people in authority. He will return to direct motion on October 16th, bringing the ability to be more productive and more successful. And this might be a good time to have a change in your job position or your career. Gemini, Jupiter, the greater fortune in astrology, begins the year retrograde in Cancer and your second house of money. He will turn direct on March 10th, bringing opportunities to your financial situation. This may be a good time to invest in property, technology, especially dealing with learning or information. Now, he will enter Leo on June 20th, and that will be in your third house of travel and communications. So make sure you get out there and see the world and meet with other people and get around. It's also a good time to learn. He will oppose Pluto. Pluto is up here in the purple color, and that will be on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your sense of righteousness. You need to understand the values of other people and how you can get along with them. Now, he will retrograde on December 12th, right down here, and that is for the rest of the year, allowing you to slow down so you can study and assimilate new information that you need for your success. And maybe you can party a little bit too with the people that are close to you. Saturn, the orange line, and Saturn is the Lord of Karma, as you say, so you shall reap. He will end his transit of Pisces and enter Aries on February 14th, Valentine's Day. This starts a new cycle of interacting with friends and associates up in the 11th house. Now, he will conjunct Neptune on February 20th. Now, this might be the most important day of the year. Definitely the effect will be long-lasting, and you might feel it actually over a full month, and then years to come from what starts here. Now, this brings the force of reality, Saturn, and illusion, Neptune, together in your 11th house of groups of people and associates. Change, creativity, and new expression in group situations are really coming forward. But you must beware confusion and misunderstanding other people. So take some time, slow down, and listen carefully. Now, he will go retrograde here in your 11th house on the July 26th. Now, this demands you shift your focus to review how you have made adjustments to important work projects and perhaps how you are dealing with other people and cooperating with them. Now, he'll go direct on the December 10th, and that will allow you to make needed changes in your social commitments just before the holidays, so it might make things a little bit more enjoyable. Uranus, the hot pink line here, is starting the year retrograde in Taurus in your 12th house, at the very end of your 12th house. And you may have to make some unexpected adjustments to your belief systems, you know, what your spirituality is and how you express that. He turns direct on February 3rd, which can change your approach to overcoming fear and the way you limit yourself. So you may start changing how you react to other people around you on a very deep psychological level. He will enter Gemini in your first house on the 26th of April, changing the way you project your personality, your energy, and your ego outward into the world. So this is where other people see you, and you may make a lot of changes. This is a time, one of the most important times perhaps in your life, to create change for yourself. He will go retrograde on September 10th for the rest of the year, allowing you to adjust your ego in the way you present yourself. Just be aware of willfulness and, you know, whatever feedback you have gotten from other people about what you're doing and how you have changed. Neptune, the blue line, will go into Aries and your 11th house on January 26th. And this is an energy that can empower you in group projects that call for a creative approach. This conjunction with Saturn, now he will be exactly conjunct Saturn, and that's really powerful, on the 20th of February. and he demands a realistic plan to make things work and to make your creativity be more successful. And again, you're going to have to work with other people. And you also have to be careful with who you can trust and not to become confused, because Saturn is very practical and Neptune can be a little spacey without a doubt, but it is very creative, very spiritual. Now, he will go retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you need to adjust your social interactions with others and how they affect you. He will return to direct motion on December 12th, enhancing your spiritual and creative power. So join your favorite friends and associates and enjoy all the seasonal festivities. Just control yourself. Saturn likes control. Finally, Pluto, the purple line up here, is in Aquarius and your ninth house all year. He brings new opportunity for travel, for personal growth, deepening your understanding of other beliefs, deepening your knowledge, and perhaps giving you more power to your ambitions. He retrogrades on May 6th, suggests you need to be more selective in exposing your personal ambition to other people around you. They might get a little jealous. Now, he will return to direct motion on October 16th for the rest of the year, bringing the ability for you to deepen your plans for success in the future. Cancer, Jupiter begins the year retrograde in your first house of personality. He turns direct on March 10th, bringing opportunity to your personal situation. This is a good time to invest in your ability to express yourself with optimism and compassion. And it can help you win over new friends because they see how charismatic you can be. Now, he will enter Leo on June 30th, and this is your second house of money and resources, and he likes being in Leo just like he liked being in Cancer. He was exalted there, so this is like two really good transits in a row. And so you got to get out there and you got to look for new opportunities to make more money. Just remember to save it if you make it, please. Now, he will oppose Pluto up here in the purple line, and that is on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your optimism and ego. You might be a little bit too optimistic for other people. So now there is a possibility that you can find some very powerful investment opportunities, and you can also maybe increase or deepen your intimate connections with people, with your partners especially. Now, he does retrograde on December 12th for the rest of the year, and this allows you to adjust your budgets and your spending, so don't go too crazy. This is a good time to party with the people you love the most, and you can be very family-oriented at this time and very generous, so do be careful with your spending. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, is the orange line up top here, and he will end his transit of Pisces and enter Aries on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And this starts a new cycle of responsibility, and especially in the area of your career up here in the 10th house. So it's not just all about love, that's for certain, but that might get a pickup too. So make sure you discipline yourself and pay attention to details, and don't go against powerful people. He conjuncts Neptune on February 20th, Now, this might be the most important day of the year, and it will really have a long-term effect, bringing the forces of reality, which is Saturn, and imagination and illusion, which is Neptune, in your 10th house. Now, you must focus on your important projects so that you do not have confusion hanging around. There's a good time to prove yourself in career situations, and especially if you're in a creative career, you can bring a good idea down to earth. He goes retrograde in your 10th house on the 26th of July. This suggests that you take some time to review what you have achieved in the past few months in your career, and it also gives you some opportunities to make adjustments in what you're trying to achieve and your ambitions. So make sure you cooperate with those in power. He goes direct December 10th, allowing you to make important changes in your projects and the career things that you're doing just before the holidays. And maybe you'll get a bonus if you did something really good. Because Saturn is the Lord of Karma. That means if you do good, you get good. Now, Uranus started the year retrograde in Taurus in your 11th house, and you may have to adjust the way you deal with friends and associates. He will turn direct on February 3rd, which can change your approach to important networking situations, how you network with friends, associates, and important people. So he can bring sudden and unexpected changes. Now, he will enter Gemini, and he's going to be a little bit more friendly in Gemini, but he also will be going into your 12th house. So this might suggest that you need to spend some quiet time on your spiritual and intuitive growth. So your better ideas might come suddenly if you learn how to meditate, do yoga, and things of that nature. So make sure you feed your spirit, because it will feed you back. Now, he will go retrograde on September 10th in that 12th house, and this will really last basically for the rest of the year, and allows you to adjust your sense of personal limitations, what you can do and what you can't do. So be aware of changes in your personal motivation, what moves you deeply, what pushes you from your subconscious mind. So know why you want to do the things that you want to do and the way you do them. Neptune, the blue line up top here, and he's Poseidon in Greek mythology, enters Aries in your 10th house on January 26th. And this should help enhance your creative approach to career opportunities. And remember, his conjunction with Saturn on February 20th demands you have a plan so you can bring your ideas down to earth. Make them pay. So he will go retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you might need to adjust some of your fantasies so they fit into the reality of the situation. He will turn direct on December 12th, and that will again enhance your creativity, and it's a good time to formulate new ideas. There's all sorts of wonderful stuff happening. That's the best season of the year, so really enjoy the spirituality of it. The final planet is Pluto, and he is in Aquarius and your 8th house, and this is the house of shared energy. He'll be there all year and for a few years to come. He brings new opportunities for deepening your intimate connections with others. He does retrograde on May 6th, suggesting a need to be more selective with your joint financial investments and also the way you handle intimacy. He will return to direct motion on October 16th, bringing the ability to connect with intimate and financial partners on a deeper level. Leo, Jupiter begins the year retrograde in Cancer in your 12th house. He turns direct on March 10th, bringing opportunities for you to reevaluate and heal some of your inner fears. This may be a good time to invest in confidence building exercises. Now, he enters the sign of Leo in your first house on June 30th, and this is the house of personality. So get out there and express yourself. Your charisma may attract new opportunities and new people. He will oppose Pluto on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your independence. Be aware of the needs of your partners, for this will bring you more success and cooperation. He does retrograde on December 12th for the rest of the year, allowing you to slow down and enjoy the holidays. This is a good time to enjoy the people that you love the most. Saturn, and that is the orange line up here, ends his transit of Pisces and enters Aries on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And that starts a new cycle of personal expansion. He conjuncts Neptune, the blue line, on February 20th. This may be the most important day of the year, bringing the forces of reality and illusion together up in your ninth house of the higher mind. Now, this has a long-lasting effect, so it's not just for one day. You may deepen your understanding of the rules of success, but do beware of confusion and dreaminess. Bring clarity and spirituality to your ambitions. He goes retrograde in your ninth house on July 26th. This demands you shift your focus, so reviewing what you have learned about your way of getting ahead is really going to be important. So you have to understand how much your power of belief motivates you and how you need to perhaps change that or adjust that for the future. He does go direct on December 10th, allowing you to make changes to your future plans and your ambitions just before the holidays. And you can talk it over with friends, I'm sure. Uranus, the hot pink line up here, starts the year retrograde in Taurus up in the 10th house, the house of career and status. You may have to make adjustments in the area of your career. He turns direct on February 3rd, and that can change your approach to your career responsibilities and the way you have to do things. So you may have to use new technology to complete important projects and things of that nature. So you may have to learn some new things. He will enter Gemini and your 11th house on April 26th. This will change the way that you network with friends and important people, and it might change some of your goals. He goes retrograde on September 10th for the rest of the year, allowing you to adjust your thinking as how you can be more successful when you're dealing in group situations or networking. Be aware that some of your change energy might make you a little bit more independent, which doesn't work too well in groups. But this can bring some very good new ideas to you. Now Neptune, and that's the blue line, is entering Aries and your ninth house on January 26th. This can empower your imagination and your vision. He will conjunct Saturn, and we talked about that earlier, so a realistic approach to your sense of ambition is needed. He will go retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you need to adjust your beliefs to how the world really works. So you have to be realistic and not be too dreamy. He returns to direct motion on December 12th, enhancing your spiritual and creative power so you can move forward with plans for your future. And finally, Pluto, the purple line, is in Aquarius and your seventh house of relationships all year. He brings new opportunities to deepen your understanding of your partner's needs. He retrogrades on May 6th, suggesting a need to be careful when dealing with the public or if you're involved in any legal issues. He will return to direct motion on October 16th, bringing the ability to make deep changes in the way you interact with both business and personal relationships. Virgo, Jupiter, known as the greater fortune in astrology, begins the year retrograde in Cancer and your 11th house. And that is the house of hopes, wishes, and dreams. He turns direct on March 10th, bringing opportunities to network with friends and important people. This may be a good time for you to participate in social and group activities. He will enter the sign of Leo and your 12th house of limitations on, I believe it's June 20th. And on that time, June 30th, and it's important to take some quiet time to regenerate your energy and your spirituality. He will oppose Pluto on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your independence and your ego, especially when working on shared projects. Discipline your need for being expansive and recognized. He will retrograde on December 12th for the rest of the year, allowing you to slow down and review how you have grown this year. This is also a good time to enjoy the intimate moments of the season. Now, Saturn, and that is the orange line here, he is the Lord of Karma, ends his transit of Pisces and enters into Aries and your 8th house on February 14th, Valentine's Day, starting a new cycle of responsibility with joint finances and intimacy. That's good. Now, he will conjunct Neptune, the blue line, on February 20th. And this may be the most important day of the year, bringing the forces of reality and illusion together in your 8th house of renewal. Now, this doesn't last just for a day. This is a long-term energy that we'll be dealing with for maybe even up to a year, because it's a big cycle change. You may be able to make an inspired idea come into reality, but don't get too intense or too emotional. It is a time of rebirth and renewal of the deepest kind. Now, he will go retrograde in your 8th house on July 26th. And this demands you shift your focus to reviewing how effectively you have worked with other people over the past few months. He will go direct on December 10th, allowing you to feel a deep sense of renewed energy just before the holidays so you can enjoy yourself. Uranus, and is the pink line there, and he's the planet of chaos and genius, starts the year retrograde in Taurus and your ninth house. You may have to suddenly change any ambitious plans that you have had. He will turn direct on February 3rd, which can open an exciting new opportunity in education and travel and may make you more ambitious. He will enter Gemini in your 10th house, and that's the house of career and status, and that might change the way you communicate with coworkers and clients in your career, and it might bring some big new opportunity your way. He goes retrograde on September 10th, in your 10th house on September 10th is right, for the rest of the year, allowing you to adjust career plans that require a new approach to be successful. Be aware of the changes in technology and how you can use them, but do not be too willful. That will not work out well. Neptune, and that is the blue line, enters Aries and your 8th house on January 26th, empowering your creativity and deepening your intuition. His conjunction with Saturn on February 20th, we talked about that earlier, demands a realistic plan for you to be successful. He goes retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you need to adjust to the demands of other people and their vision for the future. He will return to direct motion on December 12th, enhancing your spiritual and creative power, and you might get a little bit more intimacy going on. So this is a good time to plan for the future and deepen your relationships. Pluto, the purple line, is in Aquarius and your 6th house all year, and this is the house of daily routine and work. He brings new opportunities for growth in work and in your daily routines. He also gets rid of stuff that isn't working anymore. He retrogrades on May 6th, suggesting a need to be aware of any power struggles or infighting at work, so don't get involved in that. He returns to direct motion in October on the 16th, bringing the ability to be much more efficient and effective, and therefore successful in your daily routine and your work activities. Libra, Jupiter begins the year retrograde in Cancer and your 10th house of career and status. He will turn direct on March 10th, bringing opportunity to improve your career situation. This may be a good time to open up to a new job opportunity. He will enter Leo on June 30th and your 11th house of groups and associations. So get out there and network to find new opportunities. May have some good luck come your way. He will oppose Pluto on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your independence and your ego. Cooperation may be called for if you want to improve romance. Woo! He will then retrograde on December 12th for the rest of the year, allowing you to slow down and discipline your bad habits before the holidays. There's a good time to be generous with the people you love. Saturn, the orange line over here, ends his transit of Pisces and enters Aries and your 7th house on February 14th, Valentine's Day, starting a new cycle of responsibility in relationships. He will conjunct Neptune, the blue line, on February 20th. This may be one of the most important days of the year, bringing the forces of reality and illusion together in your 7th house. And this will have an effect more than a month or two. I mean, it goes for a long time. It is a new cycle. You may need to take relationships more seriously, but beware confusion. Bring your feelings and spirituality down to earth and work to improve them. He will go retrograde in your 7th house on the 26th of July. This demands you shift your focus to review your interactions with your partners and the public and make adjustments by using what you have learned over the past 6 months. He then goes direct on December 10th, allowing you to gain clarity about your relationships just in time for the holidays. Uranus, which is the pink line up here, starts the year retrograde in Taurus in your 8th house. That's the house of rebirth and renewal. You must be willing to make adjustments in joint investments. He turns direct on February 3rd, which can revolutionize your approach to intimacy and also to your intuition. He enters Gemini and your 9th house on April 26th, changing the way you understand the process of how to become a success. He goes retrograde on September 10th for the rest of the year, allowing you to adjust your thinking as to what you really want to do in the future. Be aware of changes in the way that you deal with unusual people and unusual ideas, and there may be some unexpected travel that comes your way. Now, Neptune, back to the blue line, entered Aries and your 7th house on January 26th, bringing a creative approach to relationships. And there's also a spiritual essence here. His conjunction with Saturn on February 20th suggests you may have the opportunity to make a dream a reality. He goes retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you need to adjust your expectations concerning your partners. And then he returns to direct motion on December 12th, enhancing your spiritual and creative power. You will see new potentials for your involvement with the public or your partners. Now, Pluto, and he's the purple line down here, is in Aquarius in your 5th house of pleasure all year. He brings new opportunities to deepen your sense of joy. He retrogrades on May 6th, suggesting you need to have more self-control with your emotions and your passions. But he does return to direct motion on October 16th, bringing the ability to express your emotions on a deeper spiritual and creative level. Scorpio, Jupiter, the green line up here, and the great of fortune in astrology, begins the year retrograde in Cancer in your 9th house. He turns direct on March 10th, bringing opportunity to your future ambitions. This may be a good time to invest in education to help you get ahead. He will then go into the sign of Leo on June 30th and your 10th house of career. So get out there and take advantage of new opportunities. He will oppose Pluto on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your independence and your ego. You may need to balance home and career responsibilities. He will retrograde on December 12th for the rest of the year, allowing you to slow down and review your successes and failures. This is a good time to enjoy coworkers and family members. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, the orange line over here, ends his transit of Pisces and enters Aries on February 14th, Valentine's Day, starting a new cycle of daily routine and work responsibilities. He will conjunct Neptune, the blue line, on February 20th, and this may be the most important day of the year, bringing the forces of reality, Saturn, and Neptune, illusion and imagination together in your sixth house of work. Now, this will have an effect way beyond just one day. It's a big, long-term effect. Discover new ways to incorporate a creative approach to your everyday routines and work. Bring new ideas to work, but avoid confusion. He will go retrograde in your sixth house on July 26. This demands you shift your focus to reviewing how productive you have been and perhaps new ways of really changing the way you do things so that you can be more efficient. So that may take some adjustments at least. He goes direct on December 10th, allowing you to put new procedures in place that'll make you more efficient, freeing up your time just before the holidays. Uranus, the hot pink line up here, and the planet of chaos, but creativity as well, and genius, starts the year retrograde in Taurus in your seventh house of partners. There can be unexpected changes in business and personal relationships. He will turn direct on February 3rd, which can change your need and the way you cooperate with others. He will enter Gemini and your eighth house of rebirth and renewal on April 26th, changing the way you approach joint finances and intimate situations. Now, he will go retrograde on September 10th for the rest of the year, allowing you to adjust the thinking as your intuition tells you to look inward for answers. And you need to be aware of changes in your investments, especially in new technology or communications. Neptune, the blue line, enters Aries and your sixth house on January 26th, empowering your imagination at work. His conjunction with Saturn, the orange line, on February 20th demands you figure out how you can make your ideas work and be practical. He'll go retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you need to adjust your daily routine and your work procedures. He will return to direct motion on December 12th, enhancing your spiritual and creative power, so you may finally be able to bring some new and good idea to work and to life. Pluto, the purple line down here, is in Aquarius in your fourth house of foundations, emotional, family, home, things of that nature. All year, he brings new opportunities for deepening your sense of security. He retrogrades on May 6th, suggesting a need to be flexible with family members or things that are going on in the home or even in the career because of his opposition. He returns to direct motion on October 16th, bringing the ability to make important changes at home or with family members, and you may feel a greater depth of security. Sagittarius, Jupiter, the greater fortune in astrology, and your ruling planet, begins the year retrograde in Cancer and your eighth house of shared energy. He will turn direct on March 10th, bringing a sense of renewal in your most intimate feelings. This may be a good time to invest in financial partnerships and also a new way of renewing yourself and even deepen your psychic abilities. Now, he will enter Leo and your ninth house, and that is your house, your natal house of ambition and understanding. So he'll be strong here. It's a good time to learn new things and to develop your philosophy of life so you know what you really stand for and where you want to go. He will oppose Pluto on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your independence and your ego. So you're going to have to be open to the ideas of others and communicate with them very well. And that way you can broaden your knowledge and your understanding. He will retrograde on December 12th for the rest of the year, allowing you to review your achievements. And it's a good time to socialize with new and unusual people and ideas. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, the orange line down here, ends his transit of Pisces and enters Aries in your fifth house on February 14th, Valentine's Day. This is a good time to take romance and creativity very seriously. You can deepen them. He will conjunct Neptune, the blue line, on February 20th. And this may be one of the most important days of the year because it brings the force of reality, Saturn, and illusion and imagination and spirituality together in your fifth house. So take a practical approach to creativity and romance, but beware confusion. Make your ideas practical. He will go retrograde in your fifth house on July 26th. This demands that you review your pursuit of pleasure and your creative projects. You may be forced to step back and handle more important responsibilities in your life, so make any necessary adjustments. He will go direct on December 10th, allowing you to relax a little bit and don't allow your duties and responsibilities to weigh you down so much just before the holidays. So lighten up. Uranus, the hot pink line here, the planet of chaos and genius, is in the start of the year retrograde in Taurus in your sixth house. And this will be the end of his Taurus 7-year transit. So you may have to make adjustments in your daily routines. He will turn direct on February 3rd, which can change your approach to work responsibilities and new technology. He will enter Gemini and your seventh house of relationships on April 26th, changing the way you approach partners, relationships, and even coming before the public. So expect the unexpected. He'll go retrograde on September 10th for the rest of the year, allowing you to adjust your thinking and your independence. So you have to be aware of that. And you have to also be aware of any changes in your partnerships or your partner's needs. Neptune, again the blue line down here, enters Aries and your fifth house on January 26th, empowering your imagination and your sensuality. His conjunction with Saturn on February 20th demands a realistic approach to the pursuit of pleasure. What does it mean to you? He goes retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you need to adjust your passionate impulses. And then he'll return to direct motion on December 12th, enhancing your spiritual and creative power. So you should work on creative ideas and the ways to enjoy your life more. Pluto, the purple line down here, and the planet of death and resurrection, woo, is in Aquarius in your third house of intellect all year. He brings new opportunities to deepen your knowledge. He'll retrograde on May 6th, suggesting a need to be more aware of how you communicate your ideas to others. It may also affect your travel plans. He will return to direct motion on October 16th, bringing the ability to learn, analyze, and communicate information on a deeper level. Capricorn, Jupiter in the green line here, who's known as the Great of Fortune in astrology, begins the year retrograde in Cancer and your 7th house. That's the house of relationships. He'll turn direct on March 10th, bringing an opportunity for you to review your relationships and how you have acted in them and how they have supported you. This may be a good time to adjust to the needs of your partner, just not your own. He will then enter into Leo and the 8th house on June 30th. And this is the house of shared energy. So this can help heal any issues and deepen your intimacy. It's a time for rebirth. It's also a good time for joint financial issues. He opposes Pluto on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your independence and your ego. You need to cooperate in financial and emotional situations. And he will retrograde on December 12th for the rest of the year, allowing you to reassess the growth you have made this year. It's time to prepare to enjoy the people you love the most. Saturn, the orange line, the Lord of Karma, and your ruling planet, ends his transit of Pisces and enters Aries on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. And this will put him in your 4th house. So he will bring a lot of new cycles of emotional growth, and you can deepen your feeling of personal security, and you can feel that you're on the way up, you're moving forward. He conjoins Neptune on February 20th. Now, Neptune is the blue color here, the blue line. And this is perhaps the most important day of the year, especially from a large cycle standpoint, because it's going to last a lot longer than just one day. And this brings together the forces of reality, illusion, and imagination together in your 4th house of foundations. So how do you want to improve your home and family life? You may have the opportunity to move into a new home or move to a new area. He goes retrograde in your 4th house on July 26th. This demands you review how you have deepened your sense of self and where you stand in the world. He does go direct on December 10th, allowing you to feel the more centered in your being. This will help you enjoy the traditions of your family and the holidays. Uranus, the planet of chaos and genius, is the pink line here. And he starts the year retrograde in Taurus and in your 5th house of pleasure. Woohoo! You have to make adjustments to creative projects and maybe also your approach to romance. And that can be either exciting or, oh well. Now, he will enter Gemini, and this is your 6th house, and that is the house of work, daily routine, and health. So this can bring changes to your daily routine and your approach to work. You may have to use more technology in the future. Now, he does go retrograde on September 10th for about the rest of the year, giving you some time to adjust to any changes in your work situation. Remember, you must maintain flexibility because changes will occur. Neptune, again, we'll go back to the blue line here. He enters Aries in your 4th house on January 26th, adding a spiritual quality to the deepest part of your being. His conjunction with Saturn, which we've talked about, on February 20th, shows you how to bring faith into the center of your life. He goes retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you may need to make adjustments due to any home or family issues. He will turn to direct motion on December 12th, and this can help you enhance your spiritual power and well-being. And you may feel more centered than before. Pluto, the purple line, and he is the planet of death and resurrection, is in Aquarius in your 2nd house of resources all year. He brings new opportunities for making money and especially any long-term investments. He retrogrades on May 6th, suggesting a need to be cautious with your budget. You don't want to lose it. He will return to direct motion on October 16th, bringing an opportunity to move in a different financial direction or to make more money in different ways. Aquarius, Jupiter, the great of fortune in astrology, begins the year retrograde in Cancer and your 6th house of daily routines. He will turn direct on March 10th, bringing opportunity to your work and health situation and maybe bringing a little more freedom your way. This may be a good time to invest in learning a new skill set that will help you get ahead. He will enter into Leo and your 7th house of relationships on June 30th. This will bring opportunities to meet new partners, so get out there and mingle. He will oppose Pluto on July 20th, suggesting that you need to control your independence and your ego. If you come on too strong or too inflexible, you may run into some difficult situations. And he will retrograde on December 12th for the rest of the year, allowing you to slow down and consider the needs of others and also enjoy the people you love the most. Saturn, the orange line and the Lord of Karma, ends his transit of Pisces and enters Aries and your 3rd house on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And this will start a new cycle of communications and learning. He will conjunct Neptune, the blue line, on February 20th. And this may be one of the most important days of the year, and it will last longer than one day. It's a new cycle, bringing the forces of reality, which is Saturn, and illusion and imagination together in your 3rd house. You can join the power of logic, Saturn, and imagination, Neptune, but you should be aware that confusion may be around. Now, ideas must be analyzed and tested for their practicality. He does go retrograde in your 3rd house on July 26. This demands you shift your focus to reviewing what you have learned and what you need to learn, what is useful and what should be discarded. The past 6 months have taught you many valuable lessons. He does go direct on December 10th, allowing you to take action on needed changes and free up some time for the holidays. Uranus, the hot pink line here, starts the year retrograde in Taurus and in your 4th house. You may have to make adjustments in your living situation. He turns direct on February 3rd, which can change your approach to creating a deeper sense of personal security. He will enter Gemini and your 5th house, and that is the house of romance and creativity, changing the way you approach these things and maybe bring some new opportunities. Just don't be too willful. He goes retrograde on September 10th for the rest of the year, allowing you to adjust your thinking to the new opportunities that surround you. He'll also give you the opportunity to change the way you express yourself. So be aware of changes in these situations, romantic situations, creative situations, and any type of personal expression. Neptune, the blue line, again with Saturn here, enters Aries in your 3rd house on January 26th, and that empowers your imagination. His conjunction with Saturn on February 20th, which we talked about earlier, demands a practical approach to new ideas. He will go retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you need to adjust the way you communicate. And he will return to direct motion on December 12th, enhancing your spiritual and creative power so you can get to work on new ideas. Pluto, the purple line here, and he is the power of death and resurrection. Pluto is very powerful. He is in Aquarius and your 1st house of personality all year. He brings new opportunities for deepening the way you express yourself or making any changes that you need to your personality. And he'll bring the ability to connect with others on a much deeper level. Pisces, Jupiter in the green line here, also known as the greater fortune in astrology, begins the year retrograde in Cancer and your 5th house of romance and creativity. He will turn direct on March the 10th, maybe bringing some opportunities to improve your romantic life and your ability to have pleasure and share pleasure. And that's always a good thing. And this may be a very good time to work on any type of creative projects you have or any things that you would do where you would be projecting yourself and your talents outwardly. He will enter Leo on June 30th, and that is in the 6th house, and that's the house of work and daily routine, and he may bring some opportunities for you in that area. So make sure you're cooperating with others, because there may be a chance to get a better job or to make a little bit better of an income. But do be careful with your diet and your daily routines. Be smart. Now, he will oppose Pluto up here in the purple line on July 20th. And that says you need to sort of control your sense of independence and your ego. So you're going to have to cooperate with others to get things done and to be more successful. Saturn in the orange line down here, and he's known as the Lord of Karma, ends his transit of Pisces and enters Aries and your 2nd house of money and resources on February 14th, Valentine's Day. And this is a start of a new cycle of building your resources. So you need to be wise about your budget, and you need to know what to learn so you can make more money. He will conjunct Neptune, and Neptune is in the blue line, on February 20th. And this may be the most important day of the year because this starts a very big new cycle. And of course, cycles last a lot longer than a day, so it'll play out over time. And this puts Saturn, the force of reality and practicality, in the same place, so it's a conjunction with Neptune, the power of illusion and imagination. And the second house, again, is money and resources, so maybe you develop some of your talents in a deeper way. Your creativity may be the ticket to making more money, but you have to be careful not to allow confusion. And you have to try to bring good ideas down to earth and make them real. Now, he will go retrograde in your second house on July 26. This demands that you shift your focus to reviewing how successful or how unsuccessful you have been concerning finances. So you may have to make adjustments to your budget. He will go direct on December 10th, allowing you to revamp your projects so you feel more satisfied just before the holidays. Uranus is the hot pink line here, and he is known as the planet of chaos or genius. And he starts the year retrograde in Taurus and your third house, and that's the house of mind and intellect and communications. So you may have to adjust your approach to travel and communications and changes in your environment. He'll turn direct on February 3rd, which can give your plans, if you have any special plans you want to put into action, a green light. He will enter Gemini in your fourth house on April 26th, changing the way you approach your need for security and maybe making changes like moving your home or having changes in your family. He will go retrograde on September 10th for the rest of the year, so you'll have to adjust the way you try to build your sense of security and confidence. And that's very important. So be aware of any changes in the attitude of family members as well. Neptune, and he is the blue line here, enters Aries and your second house on January 26th, and that empowers your creative approach to making money. That can be a good thing. If you're too creative, you might lose some though, so be careful. His conjunction with Saturn on February 20th demands you use your inspiration in a logical, realistic way. He'll go retrograde on July 7th, suggesting you need to adjust your dreams, at least for a while. He will turn to direct motion on December 12th, and that will help enhance your spiritual and creative power. This is the time to move ahead with your plans. And finally, Pluto, the purple line here, and he is the planet of death and resurrection, is in Aquarius and your 12th house of limitations all year. He brings opportunities to face and overcome your fears. He retrogrades on May 6th, suggesting a need to clarify your deepest beliefs and your deepest hopes. He will return to direct motion on October 16th, bringing the ability to prepare yourself to make important personal changes. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. And if you would, I'd appreciate if you'd hit the like button under my video and share them with your friends, because it's free. And also, if you would like to order your own private psychic and spiritual reading or natal or transit astrology chart, and the transit chart is for the year to come, you can go to my website, professorastrology.com, and you'll find a link on the top right-hand side of the website for psychic and spiritual readings. And all you have to do is hit the link, go to that page, and it'll explain how you can order your own private reading or personal astrology chart. And again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous month.